from Heartsease Exemplar Works, and she was in our September soiree at Sassy Jack. So thank you for coming to that. Did you have a good time?
I had a wonderful time.
Great.
I really did. The ladies were wonderful, and I really just wanted to sit and stitch and enjoy the people, and also do some research for the North Carolina Sampler, which is the next one in my 13 Colonies series.
All right. Well, tell us a little bit about that series then.
Well, you know, I've started with
Yeah, we've got some beautiful
Yes.
pieces behind us.
I
So.
started with Maryland. That was the first one. And when I stitched that, I wasn't a designer then. But I stitched
Clearly you were.
But at any rate, I designed it for myself. I had gone to an exhibit at the Maryland Historical Society,
Uh-huh.
and there was a sampler there called the Margaret Ogle Sampler, and it had vertical alphabets in it, and I had never seen a sampler with vertical alphabets. And I thought that, oh, I love that. And I was with a friend, Pat, and I turned to her and I said, I hope somebody reproduces that. I said, you know, because I would love to stitch that. And I waited like 2 years and no one ever reproduced it. And then I found out it was in a private collection.
Okay.
And the person was never going to release it to be reproduced. So I just said, I'm going to do my own thing.
Yeah.
You know. And I just put a whole bunch of stuff together. Like,
Yeah.
I have like lozenges in there from Norfolk Samplers, right there with the little deer.
Yeah, up here.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then Scottish medallions are above that. So it's not really, I just put things in there that I love.
That you love, that were important to you.
Yes. And I just put it together and I entered it in a needlework exhibit at the Woodlawn Plantation
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Alexandria. And it got a very prestigious award. It was the first sampler I ever did, the first time I ever put anything in an exhibit. And I got the Frank Lloyd Wright Award for
Wow.
Outstanding Original Design. Plus I got a first place ribbon for the stitching. And
Yeah.
So,
Well, it is
I was-
beautiful, very beautiful.
so that got me started. And what happened was Linda Vinson
Yeah.
was at the
That's
exhibit. And she saw it.
Yeah.
And I knew Linda because we had done a round robin
Yeah.
on one of the internet sites
Yeah.
years ago. And so I knew her vaguely. Jean contacted me and asked me if I'd be interested in doing a sampler of the month. And I said, well, you know, I'm not even a designer. you know? And so anyway, she said, how long would it take you to get things ready? And I really didn't have it charted properly. You know, I didn't categorize anything because I did it for myself.
Right.
And I told her, I think this was in April. And I said October because my birthday's in October. So
Right.
we did it in October. So that got me started.
Yeah.
And then I just moved on from there. I decided to do Pennsylvania because
Okay.
it's
Is that
close
this
to
one?
where I live. And I've always loved stone houses. So that's what inspired me to do that sampler. Plus I wrote the verse for it.
Yeah, so tell us about that. So you kind of write all your own verses that go on.
I
these
write
samplers.
most of my verses.
Yeah.
Some of them are scriptures, which I don't want to fool with those.
Yeah.
But yeah, most of my verses I write. Yeah.
Okay, great.
In fact, I was inspired looking at the mountains as we were going to where we went yesterday for a verse
Oh, this
for
is a
the
beautiful
North Carolina.
area.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
that's
it's
fantastic.
gorgeous. It's very, very
Excellent.
beautiful. But yeah, I grew up in the Brandywine Valley, so
Uh-huh.
to speak, in Wilmington though.
Yeah.
But we're not far from Winter, and I used to take my
Right.
children there when they were small, not to Winter, but for rides in the country.
Right.
And there's stone houses dotted all around from the Revolutionary War.
Yeah.
And I always thought to myself, boy, they could tell a story if they could
Oh,
talk, you
yeah.
know. And that's where the verse came from. But I incorporated Quaker motifs in that. And a friend of mine went to an exhibit at, Vassar College.
Yes.
And she had a print of a sampler that had 2 deer in it, and one was grazing. And I I thought, I really like that, so I wanted to incorporate a grazing deer in
Yeah,
it.
that's very pretty.
But it just came together really nice. I like that sampler.
And then this one at the top, I know we heard a little bit about that one on Fiber Talk.
Yes,
When you did your podcast with them.
yes.
And that's the Georgia one, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. I love that sampler. I didn't have anything to use as inspiration for that because I could not find a Georgia sampler
Right.
anywhere. And so I just came up with my own idea. What I do, I like to find flowers that are indigenous to the area.
Yeah.
And I incorporated that in the flower border or
Mhm.
cascade, whatever you want to call it. Originally, I designed where the black work is. There's a Florentine.
I love that part. Yeah, I
Yeah.
actually really like that.
But in the sampler itself, if you buy the chart, it has for
You have
both
both, yeah.
versions. Yes.
Yeah. And so all of these are actually charted and available for sale.
Yes, they
right?
are,
Yeah.
except for the Burlington County Antrim's Folly. That is
Okay.
not. That's a teaching piece still.
Okay.
And
So tell us about some of the specialty stitches. I'm going to get that one down and we can look at that
Okay.
one pretty closer.
Yeah,
or,
because that's
or
not-
we can look at one of the others. Which one would you rather do?
you want to see the Virginia?
Let's look at Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's not released yet and it's going to be a new teaching piece. So
Okay. I'll let you hold it up.
I'll hold it up and you can talk about it. You bet.
It's almost
Yeah.
done.
So it's beautiful. I'm going to give you a pretty close-up view of it. It is just gorgeous. So,
This is my granddaughter, Amanda here. She's headless right now.
so I'll hold it here and we can talk about it.
Okay, one of my favorite stitches is the spiral trellis, and I use it a lot. There's French knots, over one, reverse chain stitch, long and short stitches for the basket. If you look up close, you can see the eggs in the robin's
have to
nest.
show
and
that. You
They're
have to see
done in
it.
spiral trellis too. But I did them in an oval shape, so they look
Yeah.
like an egg.
It's just beautiful.
And I use a lot of closed herringbone in my stitches. I just like the texture. It has
Yeah.
a braided
Mhm.
effect, and I like the way it lays on the fabric. But anyway, I just have here, the pineapple. Have to
Yeah.
have a pineapple for Virginia. That's, oh geez, I can't even think now.
Are they islets?
Islets, yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Algerian islets, yes. And
You got some beautiful color in here too. Really nice use of color.
yes, I used, I brightened it up a little bit from my normal
Mhm.
palette. I wanted these parrot tulips to really pop.
Mm-hmm.
And also the honeysuckle. I wanted them to stand out more. So I used the color. If you look at it in the skein, you'd say,
Mhm.
holy cow. You know?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know where you would use that color. But it works in the total color scheme of the design.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be debuting this at the Loudon Sampler Guild the second Saturday
Okay.
in
Well, you guys are going to
October.
love seeing this in person. It's just stunning.
Yeah, and I wrote a verse for it. I'll wait on that.
Yeah.
Because I don't have it committed to memory.
Yeah. Well, this is just gorgeous. I'll give you one more look at this. So now, will this be when you start teaching this? Kind of, what are your plans for that? Have you decided yet whether you're going to travel and teach, or you might be doing something different from that
Well,
that you're thinking through?
If I'm offered to teach it, I'll travel where I have to go.
Okay, well that's great.
But I'm also contemplating learning how to do online
Yeah,
classes in the Flosstube format.
yeah,
kind of
great.
thing. And that'll
I
make
think that'd
it.
be awesome because there's a lot of folks out there
Right.
that just can't travel for one reason or another. And even if you do both, you teach it in shops. And of
That's
course, we're
right.
going to love to have you here at Sassy Jack's, but and you also maybe do some distance learning for some folks that just can't travel.
That's right.
I think that's
I'd like it to make
fantastic.
it available to people.
Yeah, accessibility.
This is what it'll look like when it's done, though.
Oh,
It's like a
there we
digital
go.
picture of it in its entirety. there.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
My granddaughter Amanda is featured in this one. She's the shepherdess.
Yeah.
And Ashley, my other granddaughter, is featured in this
The New
one.
Jersey
She's on
one?
the horse on the Antrim's Folly sampler. So, but I'm going to be debuting or launching.
Yeah, we're excited about this. When I saw this, I said, hey, I don't know what you're planning for that, but we want to be part of it.
Yeah.
So we're going to launch this. This is beautiful.
Here, I'll let you do
Yeah. So this is just stunning. And I will let you tell us all about what I'm going to
We'll
show them
turn around
first.
the other way.
Well, so how about that? So the back is as good as the front. So did I do it wrong again?
No, this is the bottom.
Oh, okay.
There
All right,
you
there we go. The back is as good as the front, though, which you did see. So you can get a pretty good look at this, and then we're going to talk about it. So you see it's kind of all different pieces for small, and it's stunning. Absolutely stunning. So tell us what this beautiful thing's going to end up being.
It's
And I
going to
can
be a
hold
needlework
that too if you
set,
want.
and this is what inspired the color palette. I found this silk dupioni, and it's black watch plaid, and I pulled the colors from this to get my color scheme for the design, and it'll be in a reticule. That'll be the silk dupioni, and it'll be lined with a cranberry colored silk dupioni. And the drawstrings, I'm working on this, but the ends of the drawstring will be a thistle that you create yourself.
Yeah.
And but I'm working on the design for that, and I think it's going to be quite
It looks
beautiful.
like it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
So this won't be a teaching piece. This will be a chart that's available for purchase, right?
Yes,
Or will it be a
it could
teaching piece?
I'd like to make it a teaching piece, but I would be happy to.
Oh, well, if it's going to be a teaching piece, then yeah, you need to come teach it here.
Okay, well, that would be wonderful.
That'd be
Okay.
great. I thought it was just coming out as a chart. So, no, that'll be fantastic. So this is on your horizon.
Yes.
And it's imminently on your horizon because it's really finished at this point.
Yes,
We're
it's
just,
all finished. I just have to assemble it, and
So tell us what the pieces will be.
okay, this is the needle book, which is like you can use this and take it with you. You don't have to store it in a cabinet and never use it.
And it's got a
Because-
thick spine, so the
Yeah.
spine's kind of thick.
It has a thick spine. I'll show you something that'll give you an idea of how it's constructed.
Yeah, these, of course, you know, when I saw it and it was Scottish, this is right up my alley, so I was like, hey.
Okay, this is a smaller needle book as far as the spine goes, but it's the same concept. You know, it has the front and the back, and a little pocket inside where it holds a petite scissors.
Mhm.
That's the pocket that'll go inside. Then your needle pages, they're down here. And on the back of this, there is no pin cushion, but this is the pin cushion that's attached to the back. That's why this has a bigger or a wider spine on it. But you could take this anywhere in your purse or something. Oh, of course, the little scissors fob. This is the scissors fob for the small scissors. But you can just take it with you and actually use it.
Yeah, which I think
Yeah.
is great.
And then this is the larger pin cushion. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it as a square or a biscornu, but it would look beautiful either way. And this is the fob for the regular size scissors, which is this sheath here. I like to always design a ruler with my designs, my little stitching sets, because they're nice
Yes.
and they're not expensive because you stitch them.
Right.
This is actually a thread case and a tool case. It'll roll up when it's done and tie with a twisted thread. And then this is the pocket. Wait a minute, I'll show you. The actual thread case will be the silk dupioni, the cranberry color, will line that. But then there'll be a pocket in the plaid silk dupioni.
Oh, that's going to be
That'll be
beautiful.
topped with this
Yeah.
band, just to accent it.
Fantastic.
It's going to be really pretty. And I'm going to be putting it together within the month, so.
Excellent. All right. Well, we'll be looking at our calendars. We're excited about this. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Really, really pretty. Everybody here at the soiree fell in love with this.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I loved it. So,
Well,
Thank
you
for
can
bringing
see
it to
there's a lot of
us.
stitching here, and everything I design has a lot of stitching in it.
but
This
it's a
one
pretty
here-
manageable stitch, though, right? We were
Yes.
kind of talking about that earlier. So this is one that everybody can do, right? I mean,
Everybody
It's
can do
not.
it.
It looks intimidating because it's a lot of pieces, but the stitching part is mostly cross stitch, right?
It's
I'm
mostly
assuming-
cross
yeah.
stitch. There's very few. There's nun stitch. You know. Let me see. Long stitches to accent the thistles.
Mhm.
There's a fan stitch here. I don't think I have any eyelets in this. But back stitching, there's really not anything difficult about
Yeah.
it. There's nothing difficult.
Because you're very well known for your specialty stitches, which you execute beautifully in your
Thank you.
samplers. But this one will be a great piece for everybody.
Yes.
And you know, certainly we want you to learn the specialty stitches too. But don't be intimidated by this one just because of its size. I think everybody can do this. I think you'll love it.
Yes.
We'll be very excited to host you and launch your teaching piece on this.
Okay, that's wonderful.
So, excellent. And then you are working on also some ideas you mentioned earlier for a North Carolina
Yes.
sampler.
Yes. And
So,
some of the ladies here that are from North Carolina and those that have visited
Yeah,
and love
yeah.
it are going to give me some ideas about their thoughts on North Carolina. And if anyone, I'm sure you'll put my email.
yeah,
over there.
yeah, absolutely. I'll
If
put
you
her
have
email
any
on.
ideas or thoughts on North Carolina, I know I was riding along and the way the sun hit the leaves
Yeah,
as the sun
yeah,
was going
yeah.
down inspired me with a verse already. So
Yeah, North Carolina is a neat state, and you know, there's a lot of states in this country that are just incredible, but North Carolina is very long, and so it goes from mountains to coast.
Mhm.
And so there's this whole part of North Carolina that's very coastal with the lighthouses, and you know, there's wild horses on one of the islands and the Outer Banks, and then you come over to you've got the middle part of the state where there's a lot of farms. There were a lot of farms and things like that, and then you get into the mountains, and you know, it's just a really rich cultural
Yes.
heritage around here. So you'll have a lot to draw from.
Yes.
So yeah, you guys who have lived in North Carolina or are from North Carolina,
Yes.
you know, the email will be on here. Feel free to
and
send
if you
some
have
things
a
that you
church
love.
that you like, one of the old time, you know, white churches with the tall steeple, like a country church.
Yeah.
I want to incorporate something like that in the sampler.
Yeah.
That's really in my mind to have that in there and do like a bucolic scene
Yeah, that'd
with
be
the
great.
church in
You
there.
bet.
So.
Very nice. Yeah, yeah.
But I've been looking at samplers from North Carolina, but I don't have the software that some people do to be able to search. So if you know of any and have a link, send me the link and I'll look at it and see if I can get inspired for the borders or whatever
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
Because that's how I get my inspiration. I look at antiques and I kind of study them and I get the footprint of it. In fact, that's how I got the idea for the Virginia sampler
Yeah.
that I just showed you. The sampler that inspired me really doesn't look at all like my sampler,
Right.
but the house that was in that sampler was just, I've never seen a house with the floral band going across it, and I thought that was unique.
Let's pull that out again, because
Okay.
that was really pretty. I don't think we talked about the house on that one, and that was probably my favorite part of that.
Yeah.
You
And
guys-
it's from Cumberland County, Virginia, is where this was stitched, the original.
Yeah. I just love,
Can
I want
I
you to
show
look
a
at the
picture
roof.
of the
You bet.
original?
I want you to look at the roof on this house. It's just amazing. And then, you know, the band that goes across the front of the house, along with this beautiful picket fence. I mean, this house is absolutely stunning. So I know you guys are going to love this. Let's see that picture because it
This
really
is the
does
picture.
highlight. So this is the antique that
That's
inspired
the
it.
antique.
So you see that gorgeous house.
You know, so what I do is I see stuff like this and I, you know, get an idea from it and I kind of incorporate the footprint and then put my own things inside of it. But you know, someday somebody might reproduce my sample.
Yeah, probably. And they'll think you're from the same school.
That's right. Well, you know, speaking of that, that's another thing about the way I design. When I go into starting something, I think of myself as a child in a class with the teacher saying, here is a choice of motifs and things that you can put in your sampler. And that's how I get started.
And that is really how it was done.
That is how it was done.
So this one's going to be really special. We're excited.
Show the little bird's nest.
Yeah, let's get that again. See if we can get that to where you can really see that. But yeah, those are little trestle. Is that what you call it?
What?
The stitches. Say it again. The trestle.
Spiral trellis.
Spiral trellis. Let's get that in my head. Spiral trellis, and they're just beautiful. They are raised dimension. Very beautiful.
Yeah.
The flowers are pretty. Are those what are those flowers?
They're dogwoods,
Yeah.
and the dogwood flower is actually the white dogwood.
Okay.
But I would have had trouble making it show up.
Yeah. Dogwood is the North Carolina state tree too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And cardinal is their flower,
Their
or their
bird,
bird,
yeah.
I mean. And of course, like I said, the pineapple, you see that all the time. I always like to do a fruit tree in my samplers.
Yeah.
I like the fruit. I just think it represents bounty and
Yeah.
plenty and.
My husband actually won't plant a tree in the yard if it doesn't bear fruit.
Oh, okay.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of fruit trees. We feed the wildlife really well out in Leicester. So.
Yeah. The dog in here, I had 2 Old English sheepdogs, Chauncey and Cosmo. Chauncey had a white head and blue eyes, and Cosmo had the patchy ears. So I incorporated both of them in here. There's one little blue eye looking out. That's Chauncey. The rest,
sweet.
they look the same from the bottom down, but their heads are different.
Yeah.
So I like to put people that meant something to me. I did a sampler for the Bay Area Sampler Guild, and there's a bunch of initials in there, and everybody always says, what do those initials stand for?
Yeah.
And one side are people that have passed on,
Yeah.
and the other side are the people that are still here.
That's really nice. That's a nice way to do that.
But
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. This was
you're
beautiful.
very welcome.
So what a treat. So we do already have some of your designs. We'll make sure we get everything in stock. And
Okay.
you guys definitely can purchase the ones that are available for purchase from us. And I know you've got stuff at the attic. There's a lot of nice shops that carry your work.
Yes.
So we're excited about that. And we're excited to see a lot more beautiful things come from you.
Thank you.
So especially the North Carolina one. So
I can't wait to get started.
yeah.
I can't wait.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time here. It was a treat
I
to have you in
did.
the
It
class.
was
I
so
think-
nice, and the people are so friendly. I was telling somebody, even the restaurants, the people, you know, because they talk about the people in the South, how friendly they are.
Yeah, whether you like it or not.
But we went to the Outback,
Yeah.
and my boyfriend likes hamburgers. But when we were leaving, the girl came over, would you like to have a beverage to take with you?
Yeah, yeah.
It was like, we never get that offer of where I'm from.
Yeah.
But,
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I mean, generally it is a nice place to live down here, so we love it. And
but the landscape is beyond
beautiful.
belief.
Yeah, and every day it looks different. So some days I drive into work and, you know, I love the weather changes because every day it looks so different. And I was away from home for so long that being back here and getting to see all the beautiful scenery and different weather types just really touches my heart. So I really, really enjoy that. But, well, that's all we have for you today. So, Theresa, thank you very much for
Well, you're
doing this
very
and for coming to class. We appreciate it. And you guys, you know, feel free to send Theresa any questions you have, and definitely send her your ideas about North Carolina and maybe your vote for the next one after that.
Well,
Yeah?
South Carolina is
Oh,
the
South
next
Carolina's
one.
coming next.
I want to do the South first because New England has been done many times over. And not too many people have done samplers based on the South that I know of.
Yeah.
And I mean
appreciate it.
reproductions
Yeah,
from the
yeah.
South, but not an original design.
Right.
And I was trying to capture that
Yeah.
in my 13 colonies. I thought I'd do the South first, and I'll move my way north
Yeah, there you go.
Afterwards.
There you go. All righty. Well, thank you very much for coming. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.
Bye, everybody.